Hi folks, in this video I'm going to give you a quick and dirty introduction to the new active radar missiles in War Thunder, sometimes called Fox 3s. That's just the NATO radio call for launching an active radar missile. This is going to be some quick info to get you by until I have time to update my longer form tutorials. And before you nitpick that I didn't go into more detail about some obscure bit of information, just remember I'm trying to keep this simple on purpose so I can get it out to you quickly and keep it under like 2 hours long. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the full guides when they do drop. First thing up, not only did they add new jets using these missiles, but they added active radar missiles to a whole bunch of existing aircraft so that every tech tree has at least one plane with active radar missiles. Here's a chart showing every active radar missile currently in the game, as of making this video, and what planes can carry them. The easiest explanation is that active radar missiles have their own miniature radar set inside the missile itself, so it doesn't need your plane to guide it into the target. That's the ARH on the stat card. All of these weapons have two additional features, IOG and DL. Those are Inertial Observer Guidance and Data Link. Basically, your plane's radar tells the missile where the target is before the missile's radar can see it, and it'll send the missile updates mid-flight to help it get into position for its mini radar to find the target if you launch it from further away. These missiles also have a listed lock range of 16 kilometers. This is how far the missile's mini radar set can actually see and track a target. As soon as the missile gets within 16 kilometers of the target, it uses its own radar to home in, and it doesn't need any updates from your plane anymore. This is usually called the terminal homing phase, or the NATO brevity code Pitbull mode. If you fire the missile at a target inside of 16 kilometers, it starts using its built-in radar immediately, which is sometimes called firing the missile hot off the rail. In order to actually fire one of these off, it's pretty basic. You either lock a target normally with your radar, or you select a target in track while scan mode. Then you hit your keybind to spool up the missile, just like it was a semi-active radar or infrared weapon, then push your keybind to fire. That's it. But remember, if you fire from long range, you need to keep the target locked or visible to track while scan mode in order for your radar to actually send the data link updates. If you turn away, or shut off your radar or something, the missile reverts to inertial guidance until it gets close enough for the terminal homing phase, which means that the target can evade the missile pretty easily just by turning away off in some other direction. In short, if you fire off a yeet shot at long range, the accuracy dramatically increases if you keep the target locked or visible in track while scan mode. One caveat to that is that you cannot use infrared search and track in order to either select a target or send data link updates to an active radar missile. You have to use normal radar modes. After you shoot, the user interface now shows you a countdown indicating how long the missile has until it impacts the target. This is actually pretty useful as it helps you judge how long to wait until deciding if you've missed. If you fire off multiple missiles, only the countdown for the last missile is shown. Directly related to this, the radar scope now shows a little line indicating when the missile goes into terminal homing mode and what target it's attacking, as well as a circle for the targets currently being tracked by an active radar missile getting data link updates. If your scope range is zoomed out too far, this looks like a jumbled mess and it clutters up the scope. So if you're up close, consider zooming in a bit. On a similar note, each plane's radar has a limit to how many missiles the data link can give updates to at the same time. For example, this Mirage can carry 6 MicaEMs, but its radar can only data link 4 at a time. This means if you fire off 5 of them, and all 5 are still in the air at the same time, the data link on the first one you fired will get dropped. The last thing I want to mention is a reminder that once an active radar missile is hot, you can't do anything to stop it or throw it off its target. It's not like a semi-active radar missile where you can turn off your radar if it starts tracking a friendly or something. And if you fire one of these into a furball or a cluster of targets, and a friendly plane happens to fly in front of the missile or something, it's completely possible for the weapon to shift lock onto the friendly plane. So you have to be careful about what you fire these things at. Anyway, that's the oversimplified basics about the new active radar missiles. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel to get notified when my full long-form guides get updated, and also just to check out my weekly vehicle reviews. As always, thanks for watching.